Just before I jump in to start describing some of the details and aspects of the dashboard, I think it's important to say that this really has been an enjoyable project. Working with the KPMG team has been fabulous. The collaboration and teamwork that we have enjoyed has brought us to a place where the product vastly exceeds our initial expectations. So we are pleased, and it's also got us to the point where we're keen to continue to build it out in the future, add more data, add more information, and just make it a more robust and more useful tool for all British Columbians. So having said that, I think we should just give users or viewers a quick preview of what's in the dashboard. From this landing page, users can get a quick sense of the strength of the economy. Currently there's a lot of green showing. These are year-over-year percent increases. Lots of green suggests the indicators are positive and there's some strength in the economy. Alternatively, they could all be red at different points, or they could be mixed. The more relevant and important and useful feature of the dashboard is the ability to dive down a little deeper. And I'm just going to click on the labor market dive deeper button. And this takes us to a page where users can see in much greater detail. On this page, again, you see the employment situation. You can quickly see that BC's employment level has recovered to where it was and even surpassed it slightly where it was last February. But scrolling down a little bit, you see a map for comparative purposes across the country. Again, BC stands out as doing well vis-a-vis other provinces in terms of employment recovery. But some of the more useful features of the dashboard are the ability to configure my view. The default setting shows people the percent change in employment in the different industries within the province. But if you click the Configure My View button, you can look at year-over-year change, or you can look at the absolute number of people employed in an industry to get the sense of how large a sector is relative to other sectors. I can configure it to show me year-over-year change in the different industries. And this is of interest because you can quickly and easily see sectors like professional services are growing very rapidly, legal services, accounting services, but particularly computer and anything related to computer services. Lots of job growth in that space, but still, because of the situation with the virus, the food and accommodation sector or industry employment is down sharply in that area, and that shows up here in the dashboard. Another useful feature is the ability just to look at year-over-year job growth and compare it to other jurisdictions as well. We can jump over to the economy button, which provides information and data on GDP. This button is a little bit more backward looking. GDP is kind of the key measure of economic activity, but it's slower in coming out. So it tends to be more of a backward looking indicator, but it is very important for kind of understand the economy, the structure of the economy, and how fast we're growing and how fast we've grown over the past decade, particularly in relation to other provinces. Let's look at just another area of interest. Consumer spending has been something that we've monitored closely at the Business Council as we try and track this recovery. And this is an area where we see a very, very robust recovery. To some degree, it's not surprising because consumers are restrained from spending in other areas. No traveling, for example. They're not going out to sporting events because those are still closed. Theaters, gambling operations, all those are closed. So really, the only outlet for consumers is retail spending. To my mind, it's not particularly surprising that retail sales have shown robust recovery and are growing rapidly. But again, it is interesting when we compare BC to other provinces, as we can do on the dashboard here. BC is outperforming or has seen a stronger recovery in retail spending than most other provinces. Seeing we initially conceptualized this as a dashboard to monitor the recovery, COVID obviously was a big feature of that, the spread of the virus, the ability to contain it, and now the pace of vaccinations. So we do include a COVID button or a COVID page in our dashboard. Our main metric for the COVID dashboard is vaccinations, And that's just because we think that now that we have vaccinations being rolled out, this is really the critical thing to watch in the battle against the virus. As the number of vaccinations increase, the virus will retreat and we will hopefully get the pandemic behind us. Here I would just note there are several other COVID dashboards operating in Canada and British Columbia. We do not have as much detail as those, but we just thought it would be helpful for users when they come just to have that additional piece of information. This dashboard brings in what we're calling near real-time or real-time streaming data. And this is information from organizations such as YVR that are going to populate and stream their data on ridership or number of international riders into the dashboard. So it really is the value added of bringing all the information together, presenting it in a useful visual format, and the regular automated updating of the dashboard. When we first started talking about this dashboard, and the KPMG team asked me and my colleagues what you would consider a success. And I said it would be a great success if it was useful to British Columbians, to policymakers, to government, to corporate people, to individuals. All those people, if they could come, use the dashboard, get some information, that would be great. Somebody like myself that mucks around in data on a daily basis and has done so for years and years, I was skeptical that it would be as useful for somebody like that. As the project's evolved, I've reported back to the KPMG team several times. I will be using this dashboard and I'll be using it frequently. So absolutely hit that metric. I think it'll be useful for a broad spectrum of people who are intensive data users, but also for people who are from time to time are curious what's going on. They too will find this dashboard very useful and very easy to navigate. So with that, I would like to thank everybody for paying attention, and I encourage everybody to visit the dashboard, explore it. We will continue to add more information, more data, particularly data that's more difficult to get. Real-time streaming information from agencies and organizations that are relevant to the economic recovery here in BC.